been
We
dark
should do
for.
an intro, by the way. Like, I don't know if we've done an intro, but we should do an intro for like 30 seconds at the beginning of every one of these.
Sure. What, well, like a scripted thing that is said at the beginning every time?
Mildly scripted, but not. I mean, like, I wouldn't clip a video and paste it in, but just, hey, I'm Superphiz. I meet with my buddy Jason. Jason's new to Ethereum. I've been doing this a minute, so we just meet and we say Jason is trying to uh, break into the cryptocurrency job market. You wanted to be a content creator, or maybe like an educator, an education content creator, and simultaneously learning about what Ethereum is, um, that kind of thing. Like, just sort of a setup for someone like who just started this, and kind of like we do this almost every day. They're
Hmm.
30 minutes unscripted.
Yeah, I get the spirit of that. I think it would be better with it, yeah, some sort of loose script, like I'm Super Fizz, and I'm probably going to switch from Jason to DidacticJD since that's the term I use on most of my social media stuff.
Okay.
And
Do I call you Didactic JD every time?
yeah, you can. That's fine with me.
That's long.
Yeah, well, or just JD or Jason is fine.
J.
Whatever.
Can I do J?
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Now you're out there as
Um,
Jason. You can't unring that bell.
yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, you can't unweave what's with the carpet that's been woven thus far, but I mean, I don't, and I'm not that worried about anonymity, but that blurb you sent me about using the same name over multiple platforms, and since that's what I use on TikTok and Instagram and whatnot.
You do TikTok and Instagram?
Well, I'm briefly did TikTok for a while last year when I was trying to get into, I do that awesome band names
Yeah.
hashtag, and I
Yeah.
was sort of trying to promote those awesome band names, and I had a print-on-demand store where I was designing logos and was trying to use TikTok a little bit for promotion, marketing, getting that out a little bit. But I went in the other night and I sort of switched over the vibe to educational content, instructional design, and cryptocurrency interests. So
I don't know if I said this to you. Like, I have a real interest in um connecting to uh what's the right word? Like, how do you say hip in modern lingo? To connecting to like cool platforms where the kids hang out.
right,
Um like Instagram, TikTok, like
yeah, I don't know.
trying to.
I imagine TikTok is probably being replaced by a new platform. I don't know what the rate of turnover or change is, but by the time I think I hear about it, it's probably
Yeah,
being replaced by the new place to run to.
when your grandpa is on TikTok, I actually I call it talk talk because I'm funny. Um,
Okay,
but
that's what
what
French
I'm saying
people
is
say for knock knock.
talk talk.
Talk talk.
Um,
Yeah.
there's good potential reach there of people who have heard of cryptocurrency but don't really have a good grasp. So I feel like it's a really strong
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I
educational
was
platform.
thinking about taking the content that I was sort of trying to put together and condensing it into something that was 30 seconds to a minute long and doing little blurbs on there. Uh,
You would have to also do a street dance. Is that correct?
I don't think it's mandatory. But that's one of the subgenres. I know most of my students would
Yeah,
would
I think it's
want to
required
record.
actually.
TikTok dances are apparently a fad. I had an
Yeah.
unfortunate teacher member, colleague who was roped into performing a TikTok dance at the basketball homecoming game. And of course, his partner, who he was supposed to be doing the dance with, called in sick that day. So he was left with someone who knew even less of what was going on than he said it didn't go well. Long story short,
I don't see how it could go well.
no.
All right. So where are we at today? What's our big El Plano?
No problem. Well, I sent you that link. I started some new e-learning software today, Articulate Rise, and I took some notes that I've been working on over the last 3 or 4 days on Ethereum and cryptocurrency, and tried to set up a Ethereum 101 course. And I was trying not to make it too long, and I was trying to find important fundamental information. And
Can you screen share that?
I don't know if I can figure out. Okay, I see a button that says share screen.
Do
Sure.
that thing.
So I'm going to click on that and just let me know what's happening. Let's see. So gotta find. Of course, I have 5 windows of Google Chrome open. Let me figure out which one has the class on it. Man, this has been one of those days. It started as soon as I woke up and the coffee machine didn't work and just spilled coffee all over the place. And it has just continued to maintain that vibe all day.
A rough one. I think I saw your was it last night on Facebook? You were like, because I saw Natalie responded, and I was like, oh, it's people I know.
Oh yeah. Well, look, man, my phone, I can't make calls or take calls on my phone. For some reason, when you called me Sunday, that's the only call I've been able to make work in months. And I don't know what's wrong. Apple doesn't know what's wrong. AT&T doesn't know what's wrong, but they don't want to replace the phone. And they say I have to call to file a claim, but I can't make calls because my phone doesn't work. And I feel like I'm caught in this loop of bullshit.
Purgatory. It's like purgatory. Yeah.
Pardon my French. Let me keep. Where is the? And now, of course, I can't find Articulate 360.
I was gonna be really funny and like scream and say, "Oh God, no! Turn it off!" when you got the screen share. But that was like 15 minutes ago.
Unfortunately,
now I'm just hopeful that you get it.
It's not that exciting, but let's see. Here we go. Share. All right, you can see this window?
Yes, we are in business.
So this is in preview mode. It's not very sleek right now. This is sort of an introduction. Is this course for you? So it's sort of trying to help determine what the audience is. I say it's for novice learners, Ethereum enthusiasts, and POAP collectors. They can complete this mini course about 5 fundamental facets of Ethereum. I don't want to read the whole thing, but we go down. These are the chapters. We have another little bit of an intro, a call to action about how times are changing, and Ethereum and blockchain technology are part of the present and part of the future.
So can I back up, like, can I back up to the very beginning first? Like because the most important part for any course is like the initial impression. And so I would really be looking for some kind of embedded intro video at the top. People are intimidated by text.
Right.
And so to just see that text and not have somebody like holding my hand through it, I'd be like, not for me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that right now it's mostly text, and not because I think that's the best way to handle it, but because of in the initial formatting of the skeleton, that was what that's what I had to. I believe it does need a lot more visual aid.
Yeah.
And there is room to add audio recordings, video recordings. I don't know about animation. It may be something as simple as me talking right now with some sort of green screen background or something like that. But yeah.
And the second thing I'd bring up first stuff is like I see a lot of jargon as soon as you start. I see POAP, which is a word I've never heard of.
Right.
I see ETH EDU POAP, which I don't know what that is either. And so
ETH EDU is the special kind of POAP I designed. I'll show you a picture of it later.
but they're just new things that immediately tell me that I don't know what's going on, if you know what I mean.
Well, are people who are new to the thing going to be the POAP collectors? Because yesterday we were talking about this could be a keen thing for people that like collecting POAPs. So it's not a singular target audience. There's
yeah, people quickly become POAP collectors.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone will begin as a POAP collector.
So lose the jargon.
In general, or at least add links to explain what it is. Like if POAP had a link that went somewhere else to show me what it was, or if I even saw an image of the badge, if I saw your POAP design, I'd be like, I don't know what a POAP is, but that looks like kind of like an NFT and I'd like to collect it.
Okay, that's cool. All right, let me get a pen so I'm writing this down. Okay. Lose jargon. Video. Accompaniment for intro. Include POAP image. This is all great advice.
If I give too much, just let me know.
No, we're fine. Link to POAP. Explanation.
I would title it Ethereum 5 Fundamentals.
Entitle it what? Ethereum
5 Fundamentals. Facets
5
is
fundamentals.
Yeah, that's like an 11th grade word, and most of us have like a 5th grade education.
All right, cool. All right, so the call to action. Let's see. Oh, we're not even in preview mode. All right, so this is sort of what it looks like right now. We can start the course. This is the intro. Becoming a flagship network in the blockchain universe.
Blockchain is generally regarded as one word.
Blockchain is generally okay. I see. I use it one word, and then as I was working on that, I was realizing that it was one word when I was reading it. So go back.
Do you want my do you want rolling feedback now, or do you just want to share it with me and then have me give feedback? Which is your preference?
I'm good with the feedback.
Okay. Because I mean, I'm afraid I'm going to give too much, but I also like if this is a first iteration, then it also gives us a lot of time to like grow.
Man, I am cool with us doing this, and if you give a lot of information that's dense, that's fine. If we don't get all the way through it, that's fine too.
Okay.
So
the quote from the Winklevi, they like regardless of whether they're good guys or bad guys, they are generally out of favor right now. So
ditch Winklevoss quote.
And I'm not opposed to them, but you might look for a quote from Vitalik Buterin, Danny Ryan, or Tim Biko. I can send you those names.
Okay.
But they're very quotable.
Okay. Yeah, send me those names because I don't know how to spell it. Okay. And honestly, it's a little hard to hear you right now.
Really?
So the initial thing talks about the fundamentals of the blockchain and how it's used. I talk about industries that use blockchain, examples of supply chain management, examples of information systems, examples of financial services using blockchain. I talk a little bit about risk, sort of just a disclaimer thing. But I end it with but the more you understand, the wiser choices you can make. So going back to why it's important to educate yourself. First steps in this educational process are in the lessons ahead. So I guess this is the first fundamental. And I go into annotating this definition. So decentralization, open source, and blockchain platform. So with these cards, it sort of breaks down what decentralized is. Instead of one location, there are multiple locations. And open source.
I would say many smaller ones rather than several. Several implies 10. when really our decentralization is hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
So many smaller ones.
Code made freely available and may be redistributed. I don't know where the emphasis goes. And modified, but that's open source in layman's terms. And then a blockchain platform, recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system, which that doesn't really talk about its engineering, but it talks about its advantages. And then I talk about decentralized applications.
How do you say that word?
DApps.
Okay.
Is that DApes?
No, it's no.
Dapapus?
Several people who have the privilege of saying it any way they want call them DApps. But I definitely call them DApps.
Okay.
I call them DApps. You can call them whatever.
Okay. So just sort of the first activity is the annotation of Ethereum's definition with those terms. We then have a check understanding. So an open source platform means the information is private or the information is public.
Great. I love the interaction there.
Okay. So you go down. Centralized. Many. Okay, there's your many.
Hey!
Many locations versus a single location. So centralized means there is a single location. Decentralized, thus many locations. So we have that.
And again, centralized can mean few locations. It can mean 10 locations, but we still consider that centralized.
Okay.
So it's really orders of magnitude. Something like 1 to 10 is centralized. Something that's 1,000 to 100,000 is decentralized.
So dApps or DApps run on a single computer versus run on a network of computers.
Okay. I really love the learning platform. I think this is going to be useful.
Okay, that's encouraging. So that moves us to the distinction of Ethereum, the platform, versus Ethereum, the cryptocurrency.
In that, I would actually put the words in parentheses beside it, as in platform, and then in parentheses Ethereum versus cryptocurrency in parentheses Ether.
Okay.
Just in that naming.
Include that in the title.
Yeah, I'm totally hesitant that I'm giving too much feedback when you're just trying to showcase. So I don't know.
I'm not trying to showcase, but
okay. Yeah, it's good though. I love the whole setup.
Like I said, you're my content area expert. Of course, depending on how your schedule is, if you're more comfortable going through it on your own, and I'm comfortable with private feedback too. But this is the first time.
Yeah, to be fair,
this was my first day with the software. This is the first e-learning thing I've ever created. This is my baby.
It is awesome. I will never make it through it on my own, and I apologize. That is just what you get with me. So,
all right. So Ethereum versus Ether. So I don't know if that's a superfluous use. And you know what? I'm asked: Is this logo exclusively for the cryptocurrency, or is it for the platform as a whole?
It represents the entire platform.
Okay.
It is also
an exclusive version of it for the cryptocurrency, like equivalent to the dollar bill.
Those are well, for like the currency, it would usually be the symbol E or three horizontal lines.
Okay.
That's generally how we regard the currency. But
I'll see if I can find that.
Okay.
Ways to use the cryptocurrency. I give you a link for merchants that accept cryptocurrency. I mentioned that it can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or fiat currency. So
and this is one of the things that, like, I can't say this to people reading this, but this is weak, and it's not your fault. It is a weakness of Ethereum right now. But one of the current uses is, or two of the current uses I'd really want to point out are
digital goods and assets like NFTs, trading
Okay.
digital goods and assets, and smart contract versions of the modern banking platform, of modern banking services. Those are things like leveraged lending. But those are two that are what we would kind of consider killer apps right now, and they're not really killer apps. They are they're high hit point apps.
Okay. Both valid, and I can go back and include those in the list.
Yeah, we want to focus on the biggest current strengths, not like the nebulous kind of. So a lot of cryptocurrencies can do those things.
Gotcha.
But we want to talk about what Ethereum does better.
Correct. I'll look into those two facets, finance and NFTs. I guess that's already. And I can of course include hyperlinks to elaborate on any of that, if like NFTs, or if I can find an article that talks about the smart contract banking. I'll see if I can find stuff. Okay, so we have a little bit more interaction. The difference between the two, basically reiterating what I said before: Ethereum is the platform, Ether's the currency. Then the next chapter is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and it's just sort of a comparative between those two. Okay, thank you.
You muted it. Once I discovered that I could ding you, I started dinging you. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't mute anything.
Oh, okay. Then I'll send you more.
Okay.
I was going to say Aave and MakerDAO are examples of financial services.
Okay. Here's another quote. What about Fred Ursam? Is he in good standing?
I don't recall. Like
I just got it because it was relevant in comparison to Bitcoin and Ethereum.
You know what? Let's look at the quote.
There's nothing that Bitcoin can do which Ethereum can't. While Ethereum is less battle tested, it's moving faster, has better leadership, has more developer mindshare.
That's a very valuable quote. I would say it transcends whatever his current status is.
Cool. Let's see. So comparison. Go back to talking about dApps or dApps, and a little bit about the advantage of it. Faster transactions than Bitcoins. I talk a little bit about the coin supply and the evolving coin supply versus Bitcoin's fixed coin supply, and proof of staking versus proof of work. So those were four differences that I mentioned. Can you think of anything particularly salient that?
Can you back up 30 seconds?
Sure. dApps, faster transactions, growing coin supply, proof of stake versus proof of work.
Coin supply. Your description of that is actually kind of interesting, because it is an assault vector, and so Ethereum doesn't have a maximum supply, but it does have a regulated supply. There's a really great link, and I've actually mentioned this before in a different context, ultrasound.money.
Okay.
Ethereum burns Ether actively. So the issuance of Ether, actually...
so it doesn't just go up, it can go down.
That's right. We have essentially peaked at maximum Ether issuance. So there's kind of a balance between new Ether that's generated and Ether that's burned.
Okay.
So if you just say Ethereum has no maximum supply, then there are these people, I don't know if we've ever talked about them before, they're called Bitcoin maxis. They, in the same way that I'm an Ethereum maxi, of course, I'm not really a combative person, but I do believe Ethereum is a superior platform. There are people who believe that Bitcoin is a superior platform. Some of them are a little militant, and they will say, Why would anyone want something that has unlimited supply? You're just going to mint trillions of them and make them worthless. But the response to that is, well, there's a regulated supply that we burn and mint.
Noted. I didn't know that it was a two-way street. I thought it was one way, growth only.
We should really look at ultrasound.money one time. It's a great site. Now's
Sure.
not the right time, but it's awesome.
Okay, so faster transaction time, more interaction, slower time for transactions, no built-in programming language, Bitcoin, fixed amount of 21 million coins, no fixed amount of coins.
And again, I would just call
regulated.
that regulated coin supply. Yeah.
Regulated coin supply, proof of stake, Ethereum, using dApps, dApps, Ethereum. Okay, so
Great.
that was sort of the little interaction for that chapter.
There's so much nuance to these, and so I have to tell you, we are beginner correct, but there will definitely be people who could nitpick all of those and say, well, you said that there's no programming language on Bitcoin, but we have script, and it's it can be developed to do all these things. But you are absolutely beginner correct, and that's good. That's the target.
This is the weakest section, but we're almost done. The DAO. Let's see. Talk about the role of humans and how this can't be 100% automated, and how humans are important in smart contracts.
I don't. The role of humans is really just to run nodes. In an ideal chain, humans no longer need to make like chain decisions about. So that is the core protocol. DAOs are designed as governance mechanisms where like people get involved, but they're not governing the core protocol. They're not governing Ethereum. They're using the Ethereum platform to govern other things. That sounded ranty, but I tried.
No, you're good. This is essential information that I need. So I can modify that.
And we need to refer to these as DAOs and not the DAO. The DAO is an actual thing that is no longer here.
Okay.
These are DAOs. They are distributed decentralized autonomous organizations. Good, you got it right.
So I talk a little bit about that. DAOs don't have a CEO.
That's right.
Group of individuals are the decision makers. Open source, meaning there's a lot of access to code and technology. If someone who has a crucial role stops making content, ends their role in the process, it continues. It doesn't cripple its progress or the system's ability to function. And then I sort of talk a little bit about vulnerabilities, just that open source makes information available, possibly to the wrong people in the event of someone trying to exploit a loophole or reverse engineer something to get money. I talk a little bit about the DAO, or the $15 million incident. But how it was.
That becomes confusing, because when you go from the DAO to DAOs, the version of DAOs that we have now is very different from what the 2016 DAO was.
Okay.
And the big difference is the 2016 DAO was one DAO that encompassed everything in the world, and now we have DAOs for like every community, like every project has its own DAO. And I know if like our friends from ETH Finance listen to this, they're going to say things like they're going to punch holes in that. And what I want to remind them is that the target audience here are beginners. When there are things like, if you can go back, zip through these really quickly, because I want to just give the other side of it. So no CEO, one token holder. If I hold the majority of tokens and we're not using a quadratic voting, then
Right.
I could control the DAO as one person.
Right.
Just giving the flip side of these, because it is important, even if this is still noob friendly. So you open source, and you also mentioned, like, if developers leave, often the people who govern a DAO are not the developers. And if the developer who has this great skill and idea left, the DAO would be pantsless, because there's no one to actualize this idea.
You know what? You're just going to send me this video, and I'm going to edit this part of it. And I'm just going to show this video. We're not going to do these. I'm going to let you be the expert presenter on DAOs.
Well,
I think that would be better.
I don't know. They make me feel like I'm talking too much. I don't know. Like,
you're not talking too much. These are things I said this was the weakest section, and these are things I was wondering while I was trying to put it together.
That's okay. We're getting past the fourth wall. Like, that is why these are cool, in addition to the learning modules. Like, I think it's a dual approach. I read
that it's good that it's not authoritarian, but then I read that the person with the most coins has the most leverage in decision making.
Well, we have solutions for that.
What's that?
There's a solution for that called quadratic voting. And
okay.
Quadratic voting kind of means that there's not a lot of distance between the person who has the most coins and the person who has the least coins. It kind of levels the playing field. And so I guess what we're looking at, you have the noob version, then you have the poke holes in version, and then you have the hardened version of all, like, each of these on those three levels.
Right.
And it's okay. What you're saying is not wrong. It's just the noob version, and that's really what we're targeting.
Right. Yeah. We got to figure out the audience, and we got to stay the course. And anything is going to have but, folks. But
cryptocurrency world is, oh my God, filled with but. Like, you almost cannot open your mouth without a but. And it is frankly, honestly, a turnoff in many conversations, but it is the reality of our world.
I get that. Oh yeah. So timely. I sent this lesson to two of my friends to take a look at, and my buddy just messaged me and said, "What the fuck is a POAP?" Which is,
told you.
Yeah, which is exactly the point you made.
Phiz got that skill, baby.
Man, I knew that was the case, but I just figured that POAP collectors were going to be this separate league of, folks that are like, okay, I'll take this noob shit if it'll get me a new POAP, like.
Yeah. Oh, we have a name for those people. Those people are POAP farmers. There are POAPs about POAP farmers. People who will do anything to get a POAP. And it is, the meme is kind of, it ain't much, but it's honest work. People who farm POAPs. Like, yeah, I'll do this just to get a POAP, even though I already know it all. Yeah, anyway.
So the little interaction thing, check all that, apply, I guess, for DAOs. DAOs are used for decision-making, yeah. Collaboration, yes. Improving code, yes. Appointing executives, I said no.
And yeah, I would make that a all are correct and change that to governance. Governance is the primary function of a DAO.
Okay. I dig it. All right, governance, and all are correct. Okay, submit. Fuck. What? All right.
That's okay.
I don't think I set the correct answers on that.
No biggie.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's no.
Is that going to be a big DAO logo?
Yeah, you don't want that?
Well, it's just reminiscent of the 2016 DAO, which failed utterly.
DAO.
So
okay.
Yeah, if we teach people that the 2016 failed DAO is the DAO, then they're not really going to connect with what modern DAOs are. They're
So
going
there's a new
really
logo?
to be that. Well, there is no the DAO. There are thousands of individual DAOs.
Okay.
So
Can somebody be a part of multiple DAOs?
yeah, there's a site called snapshot.org that allows you to, like, if you hold tokens on many DAOs, you can vote in governance using Snapshot to kind of suggest your intentions.
Okay. Is there a new logo, or does each DAO have a different logo?
Each DAO has a different logo. You might look at, let me look at the snapshot.org. They may have a logo that's worth using. It's just a lightning bolt.
Okay.
But so actually ETH Finance has a DAO called EV Mavericks.
Okay.
They are what we would kind of classify as a community action DAO. So if you wanted to just put a general DAO image there, you might include the EV Mavericks DAO.
Okay.
And that's going to be a pixelated lion. Shout out to the EV Mavericks. That was an ad that I just did. And anyway, I couldn't help it. I love those people.
This is all great information. The last chapter is the fluidity, the evolutionary quality. Talk a little bit about forks.
Oh, you quoted my boy V up there. Scroll up a little bit. This guy, he knows what's up. If Ethereum succeeds, it's not because it empowers better people, it's because it empowers better institutions.
Not the most relevant quote.
No, it's fine. This guy, he's a random Canadian Russian researcher who just like really gets it.
Yeah,
So,
if there's a name that I come up with more than Superphiz, it's this guy. Whenever I'm reading stuff or watching stuff, this is the name that I come upon the most.
Yeah, he's literally just like this researcher guy who has all these ideas for Ethereum and just shares them, and a lot of them really catch on. It's pretty cool.
So I talk about forks, the Shanghai update. Let's see. And then I say that I'll elaborate more on the Shanghai update in an upcoming lesson.
As soon as I figured out, wait, this is update's name. What is it? Okay. Yeah. I didn't actually know it was named after that 2019 meeting. I thought it was just, I mean, there are these conversations on developer calls. It's like, hey, what are we going to call this next fork? So it's a lot to keep up with, but if you sourced that, then awesome.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this turns me on.
Talk about how the evolutionary quality has improved energy efficiency. I can include an image of a meadow with a deer or something like
it. Must include the number 99.98%. That is our
8% improvement.
Yeah,
so
that's
a huge
our
improvement.
yeah.
That's great. Scalability, updating, accommodating more transactions and more users, important and recent, improving transaction fees, and then improving security.
Yeah, and I'm tempted to want to cite what it is rather than just recent updates, but I have to allow myself to recall we are doing high level. We don't have to get
well, if that
complex.
Is like the number sequences, the protocol updates, what is it, a PUI?
EIPs?
I can't remember that. What's that?
They're called PIEs.
All right, PIEs?
EIPs, Ethereum Improvement Protocol. What am I doing this right?
EIPs.
Ethereum Improvement Process. I think I knew this like 4 seconds ago.
Okay.
The Ethereum Improvement Process. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Protocol?
I don't know. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm like, proposal, Ethereum improvement proposals. There's like a whole process for identifying, numbering, and like implementing EIPs. Ethereum improvement proposals. Fun fact, that guy, I think his name is Vitalik something, but he he has the kind of fame of having at least this is anecdotal. I haven't verified it myself, but I've heard that he has submitted the most EIPs that have just totally been ignored, which is kind of funny because he also writes some really good ones.
Man, I'm sorry. One of the million things that was supposed to happen today is I was supposed to meet with my financial advisor, and he said at 5, and I stuck around refreshing my email every few minutes to get this invitation to a Zoom meeting that never happened from 5 to 7 until we met up. It's just the way life has been going. Nothing is going as smoothly as it should be. So
if you're rich enough to need a financial advisor, then you're killing it, right?
I'm not. No, I just need. I want to withdraw from. I've had some tax sheltered annuities for oh shit moments, and we have arrived at one. And
it's one of those. Got it. Okay.
So we wrap things up with a quiz.
So I have to go back to one because you were talking about the ultimate goal of Ethereum, and we kind of want to get that really good.
Where we
at?
The
very bottom, Ethereum's constant evolution. Really the goal is to be scalable is the thing that I really need to see in there.
You're right. That's what I hear over and over again in stuff that I watch.
The problem with Ethereum right now is it's not big enough to serve the world. And so if it caught fire and like everyone YOLO'd in, it couldn't handle the traffic, and fees would go up to like crazy, and it would end up turning people off. They would say, I am not going to pay $1,000 to interact with Ethereum. And so until we can scale, we can't handle the things that we actually want to do. Sorry, rant.
No, you're absolutely right. And when I hear people talk about being excited about Shanghai, they're excited about increased scalability and being able to accommodate more users, more stakeholders, more withdrawals, more activity.
Yes. Shanghai is there are minor EIPs, but it is a single feature upgrade to allow withdrawals from the beacon chain.
Okay.
It is not identified as a scalability upgrade.
Okay.
The scalability upgrade is going to be later this year.
Gotcha.
Like October-ish, and that is that's when anyway, but that's the
noted. And that wraps it up on the 5 points of information. I have a very brief quiz. Decentralized. The DAO, autonomous, decentralized, private, open source. I'll change it to DAOs are and not the DAO. I'll get rid of all the DAO.
I wouldn't even be mad if you called them decentralized autonomous organizations and then put DAO in parentheses to kind of help people remember what it really is.
Cool. Ethereum's cryptocurrency, is this superfluous? Should I say Ether or ETH? Or do people not even need to know that and they can just say Ethereum?
So I'm trying to think. Cryptocurrency is not my favorite word there, and again, I'm trying so hard not to nitpick.
Currency?
That would be fine.
Monetary unit?
Ooh, do that. Nah.
Okay.
Let's think about it. We'll skip now because we're gonna probably do another pass of this eventually.
Okay. Which cryptocurrency uses a fixed amount? And then it's a matching.
Ooh.
dApps, decentralized applications. DAO, organizations responsible for implementing improvements and updates. Open source, publicly accessible information. Forks, changes, or upgrades to a network.
I'm loving the multiple style question format. Like this, that's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. Plus, I'm learning the software, so I wanted to dabble in different stuff.
You are leveling up very quickly. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about where I was 2 weeks ago, just in terms of knowledge and skills. And in spite of everything being extremely fucking hard and frustrating, I am still learning stuff.
You kind of said it. I don't know where you said it, but maybe you said it in one of these chats. Like, the stress to succeed makes you scrappy and like willing to put this effort in when normally you wouldn't find the time to do it.
Yeah, I was reading this article, this very discouraging article on Sunday night from this woman who is an instructional designer, which is what I'm interested in becoming. And she's like, right now, all these teachers, they're just showing up and they know the software and they've got this cute little portfolio and they think they're going to get the job, but they're not. They don't have business acumen, and this job and the business world is about solving problems. And
Okay.
I just feel like all I've been doing for the last week is solving one fucking problem after the other. And it's just like my solving problems muscle is getting a workout.
Yeah.
It's just
Forget
continuous.
her. Forget her.
Yeah.
I know the cryptocurrency sector. I
Yeah.
know that there is a desperate need for quality education. And I didn't want to say this before, but your portfolio doesn't matter. What
Right.
matters are products that you've developed.
No,
When
you said that. Content.
Yeah, when you show that you can do this one time, and you're driving people to this and they're learning because of it, then DAOs, projects, they're going to say, we want to teach people who is able to do this. And they're going to say, Jason did it with this project. And can we afford him? Like, I swear that's how it works. I watch it every day.
I hear you. Well, I am going, and this is great because it has really incentivized learning this stuff. And this has been a great carrot. I already gave myself the stick when I quit my job. And so I needed a carrot. This has been a good carrot to draw me forward. And, you are an invaluable resource to be able to walk through this and give me, clarifying information and legitimize the quality of the content that I profess to, that it's supposed to be worth somebody's time. So
yeah, well, and I love seeing your Chat GPT tabs up there. You just make Chat GPT write the whole thing for you. The content is very noob. That's exactly what I expect right now, and that's okay, because we're onboarding noobs who are at the same level you are, and so a lot of the minutia isn't important to them. They just want to get the big picture. The two big things I would suggest through here are that you maybe embed videos describing them in case people choose to click on them.
Right.
And that's really like a 30-second video for each of those for people who are too lazy to read, even if it's just reading text. If it's reading the text you have on the screen. And I would also do more focus on what is the purpose of this course? What am I going to get for it? And that's where we get into what is a POEP and why do I care?
Okay, that would be at the beginning. Okay. And all right, let me see here. For the record, what was how do I acquire business acumen? Or how can I be successful
can they come
producing
back?
and marketing online coursework?
Restaurant employee training? I like that one.
So yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of scenarios. Let's see.
Hey, you can also go to ChatGPT and say, ask me a basic multiple choice question about Ethereum. And it will.
I loved it. I said, tell me 5 important things, and it helped me break down,
Yes.
the components that I could go and, research further, like the annotation or, but it sort of gives it in bullet points, and I can expand on it and ask you. I'm trying to find this POAP.
I think the big picture here is I don't want you to build a portfolio. A portfolio is what you do when you're in college and you have to prove that you could do the job if you were doing the job.
Right.
I want you to build useful tools, and those useful tools will become a portfolio.
Right. Totally agree. Where is... I'll show it tomorrow, I guess.
Okay.
I'm still figuring out the Windows layout and how to get to... I thought it was on the desktop. Shit. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and we can wrap things up, and if I can find this POAP I designed.
Was this an hour? Did we do an hour? Or you spent a while getting your audio.
Yeah, we're closing in on it. We talked a lot.
I'm gonna end the recording, and well, do we have wrap up? Is there anything else you want to get on camera, or are we okay?
Man, I'll show it tomorrow. I'm looking for it.
Oh, you designed a POAP
right now.
You designed one?
Yeah, is it right here? Yes, here we go. So I'm going to share the screen. So,
I'm like, I hope I want this POAP. Okay. So that's awesome. You'll want to surround it in a circle. It'll be a 500 by 500 pixel circle. But yes, that is, and some other things about designing POAPs are they need a lot of context. So you're going to want a date, and it's going to need to be.
Well, I was going to have the course name or a course symbol or something attached to it. But this was going to be sort of the template, and whatever course they did, I was going to put it somewhere on the side of the ribbon. But
we might do like a banner around it that makes a ring that has text that says the date, the module, and maybe like whatever the website is.
How do we change the date, though? I mean, everybody's not going to take this on the same day, are they?
No. Well, let me think. At a minimum, it needs a year. So it could be that they can, or maybe even a semester. Maybe you want to do cohorts. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So just put 2023 or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. And that just shows for like context in 5 years when you actually did it. Dates are a big part of POAP art.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was reading. I mean, it commemorates a special event, and events exist in time. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to shut down, and we will.